is. So Jackson, Mississippi, okay, where Emmett Till, the 14-year-old boy, the black boy who was viciously, horrifically offed in I don't have the exact year. I want to say 56. I'm not sure when that was. Someone can put it in the comment section. Emmett Till. Okay, Google him. You probably already know exactly who he is and exactly what the story is. Well, his story came from Jackson, Mississippi. And in Jackson, Mississippi, a couple weeks ago, a man named Dexter Wade had been missing, and his mother, Betterson Wade, was looking for him. I believe she was looking for him for about 6 months. Okay, so this went from spring all the way into just a couple months ago. So she was calling the police. She was calling the police. She's filing missing persons reports. Where is he? Where is he? You know, and the police kept telling her, "I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea." The police eventually admitted to running him over and burying his body in the yard at the police station. Yeah. He had his wallet on him when they found the body and they dug him up. They realized that he had his wallet on him that had his ID, his home address, information connected to even his mother, his family. So it's not like the police didn't know, A, because they're the ones who ran him over, and B, because they buried him, but also because they never contacted his mom or family, even having all of that information very deliberately, obviously, because all of the contact information was right there on his person. Now, what we also found was that there were 215 other unmarked graves back there. None of the family members were contacted about these missing. Mostly or probably all, I'm guessing, Black or maybe Hispanic. We'll find out more. People. 215 unmarked graves so far were found back there where the cops have been burying bodies. And they have the audacity to charge. The mom had to pay to get the body dug up. So just to make it hard, just to add a little more red tape, just to be a little more disgusting, okay, and evil, the cop said, well, you want the body? You have to pay to get the body. So these families have been paying money to dig up the graves of their offed children or family members and loved ones. Okay? Remarkable. Remarkable. But these unmarked graves had these like metal rods with these little like wooden planks on them. And they were numbered. And we realize now that Dexter is number 672. So while 215 may have already been found, where are the other ones? Because if he's 672, God only knows how many we're talking about here. Welcome to Mississippi. Welcome to America. All right. How much has changed since Emmett Till? Wow, not much. What a shock, right? So, also with this particular case, 3 years ago, the police killed Betterson Wade, the mom, her brother, and she is the head plaintiff in that case. Okay? Still trying to get justice. So what do I think? What do I think the spiritual, intuitive, astrological, energetic lesson is here? Well, like I've been saying the last few years, again, for those of you that follow me, end times, Hopi prophecy, the revolution that's going on right now. Beginning in 2019, it began with Black people and LGBTQ collectively. Okay, so now we've moved into the phase where we're talking about women and indigenous people. But then it was Black people, African Americans, and the LGBTQ community. So around that time, or shortly after that, we would have seen things like the case with Floyd, George Floyd. Okay, openly on the street in the middle of the day, in the middle of broad daylight, in the middle of broad daylight. Okay, so this is my belief is that this is part of that story because while it was really activated around that time as part of the revolution, it's not over, obviously, right? It's going to continue. I talked about this a little bit more in my 2024 predictions. So if you didn't, you want to watch that video, it's up on my YouTube at Ask Ivy. So the 2024, like, collective predictions that I did for the world, I talked a little bit more about this process of the revolution. And I do believe this is a huge part of that story, which also makes sense because the mom, Betterson Wade, the fact that her brother was off 3 years ago, it fits in perfectly with that timeline. Okay, so I mean, you can't make this stuff up. I also think that it's connected a lot to the part of the revolution that we're in now with women and indigenous people leading this revolution, the final phase, the peak phase, because we have also dug up countless indigenous bodies, unmarked graves of children that were forced into the Indian schools, not only here in America, which is also being hidden, but also in Canada, and it's happening elsewhere. So these stories are directly linked in just in the way that the people were handled, okay, mistreated, abused, offed, and then the bodies buried in the unmarked graves. I mean, when we start to see a common theme like that, okay, you just know that the universe has sort of set it up so that it reads as like a connecting script, right? Sort of like symbolism. Symbolism is a huge part of mediumship, always. All right. God bless those families. Okay. We need to pray for them. We need to send them healing. We need to keep sharing these stories and we need to motivate them to keep on with the fight because people can get a broken heart. If you've ever lost a pet or if you've ever lost a couple that was actually in love, sometimes we lose somebody and it just breaks our heart and we pass away or we lose our minds or our soul dies. Okay. Or we go dark. And when, even if these weren't necessarily people that were super close in their family, the story being so dark and disgusting and tragic, and knowing this is still our system with their boot on our neck every day, that could be enough to break some people. Okay. So send them the strength and healing that they need and speak out on this.